All right, we're gonna try this again. Didn't work the first time, so we'll see. We'll see if it works this time. So we'll just give a minute for everyone to get in here. If you haven't tried, these are amazing. LaCroix, it's like sparkling water. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know what happened last time. Hopefully it stays up this time. They're so good, the best. Like healthy. Like if you like soda, these things, they feel like soda essentially. Like just have the right amount of sweetness, but just water, so it's really healthy. What's up? Welcome. Alts are dirt cheap. You buying more? I actually did move a little bit into Monero today, or move a little of my Bitcoin to Monero, just because Monero started taking off. I think Monero is one of the best picks right now. So, I mean, otherwise I'm fairly diversified already. So, you know, most of my portfolio is already alts. But I think Bitcoin will continue to run until the fork, obviously, and then after the fork, I expect Bitcoin Legacy to take a plunge. I'm not sure what will happen with 2x, but I think Bitcoin Legacy will plunge right after the fork. EOS had really high inflation initially, and they still kind of do. I really want to see products out of people with these platforms at this point. Promises are so cheap. So what's up, guys? This is my first time doing a live stream like this. I've kind of thought about doing it for a while, but never did. And then we were just in Discord doing a little voice chat, talking to a couple people, and I was like, I might as well just jump on YouTube because more of you guys will know. And here I am. So I wish I could hear you guys speak, because then we could have more of a conversation rather than reading your text. But it is what it is. For now, I think this'll work. This way we can kind of talk a little bit. Yeah, just figure out, share this with you guys. Probably some people will catch it after this conversation. It'll go on my YouTube channel, and some people can catch it there. So, yeah, I thought I'd like meet you guys, talk to you guys a bit. What's up, player? Or Placey? Neo, I saw something about Neo. Neo is still my top pick, I would say. Neo and Gas. Monero is also one of my top picks too. I'm working on bringing that video for you guys. So, how are you guys doing? How's everyone doing? Let's wait for like more people to come in here. 23 people right now. Do I like Walton coin? To be honest, I wouldn't say that I know enough about it or see enough use to say something on that. I understand it's not a platform, so it's not like a Turing complete platform, and I'm looking for large platforms that can really envelop a lot of use case, right? Like that's what Ethereum did, and I saw that was going to happen with Ethereum, and now Ethereum is really expressing its first use case with ICOs, but all these companies are being born into the Ethereum platform, which is really, really good for Ethereum long term. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, are cryptocurrencies that can function as platforms. Gives them a lot of strength long term. There's a BTC fork coming, yeah. It's in just about 10 days, 9.5 days. That's a big one. It's a huge, huge deal. I have a video I'm kind of working on that too, but maybe I'll talk to you guys about that here. Thank you. Appreciate that. About Ubic, you mentioned your thoughts have changed. What are your current thoughts on Ubic? Basically, I was interested in Ubic because they're a competitor to Ethereum, and for quite a while we saw Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, right? There was that kind of like back and forth, and I kind of experienced that a lot, seeing that, and so I thought Ubic is a great alternative to Ethereum Classic, and it is. However, Ethereum Classic isn't going anywhere. The way that the market is going is, of course, Ethereum has clearly taken the lead over Ethereum Classic. Yeah, thanks. A pretty peaceful pick, huh? And then other platforms are coming out that are competitors, like Neo. You know, Neo is a platform kind of similar to Ethereum, and that's what I see happening. I think the days of cryptocurrencies with, you know, one or two developers working on a part-time are over, you know? Those aren't going to survive anymore. Cryptocurrencies need to be competitive these days. That means full-time teams, dedicated teams, you know? But if you went back a year ago, it'd be totally okay for cryptocurrency to have one or two inactive developers, and that would be acceptable. Hey, what's up? Welcome back. Yeah, I think Ethereum will be able to scale. I kind of have my own thoughts on scaling, which I shared with someone somewhere on some comment, I think on Twitter. But, you know, kind of an image or a vision I've had for scaling myself is imagine that a blockchain gets full, right? Say it's like a terabyte blockchain and it's full of data. You know, that's transacting more than Visa or MasterCard. I think about 10 times more. And then at the end of the day, when the volume's the lowest anywhere in the world or whatever, there is a short period of time where it transitions to a new blockchain. All those, everything at the last point is basically snapshotted, and it continues on to a new blockchain. The old blockchain that's a terabyte gets archived somewhere. It could be self-funded by the cryptocurrency even, that where those are stored. So essentially all the data is stored, but you're moving on to new blockchains every day that are about a terabyte in size, so I don't really see an issue with scaling. I just missed that, sorry. Someone posted like a fairly long thing. If you want to repost that, I will respond to that. But yeah, glad for you guys to join me on this. You know, I don't think I'm going to do this too long. I was thinking maybe half an hour. This was not scheduled or anything, you know, very random. But again, I've never done one of these before, seen other people do them, and I thought it would be fun. So appreciate your insight, Tommy. The Aeon TRS deal seems like quite the deal. Yeah, I think with any cryptocurrency, it's really going to come down to their how well they actually do, right? How good of a product they release and them actually coming through with their product. But Aeon has pretty strong team from what I've seen. So, and their TRS deal is good. I was trying to read that comment. Something about Chainlink. I didn't see the whole comment, but my thoughts on Chainlink is it's a very strong idea, and I think we're going to see more platforms within platforms going forward, and those ones that are good can grow really well. And I think Chainlink has a good shot at being a major type of platform within Ethereum. Honest opinions about Litecoin. I don't know how long you guys have been in the space, but I've been in it for, I mean, initially got my interest about 5 years ago, but I was in it the whole bear market, and Litecoin was, to be honest, all but dead. You go check out Reddit metrics and go look at what Litecoin was doing for a whole year and a half. Like, it was essentially like Dogecoin. Sadly, both of them were just declining, and it was really sad to see. But the point is, there was no innovation there, and Charlie Lee's really smart for coming out and, you know, being on top of the market while this has been going on, while the market's been really active and doing whatever he can to promote Litecoin, getting into Coinbase and all these other things. But as far as the technology goes, I don't see it competing long term. It's not an innovative solution, and there's a lot of growth in the space, and that you really have to be innovative if you want to be a competitor going forward. Yeah, I'm trying to catch the comments, guys. I'm going to try to get it on my iPad in the future so I can like read the comments on here, and then it'll be easier. But this is just for now. I'm trying it on my phone. Has OMG lost his steam? You said you like Aeon. Why is that? Okay, it's two questions. I was really happy to see OMG do what it did. It's pretty cool. But I didn't get into it. I'm pretty impressed that it grew to as big of a market cap as it did. It's a remittance product, which is cool, but I want to see numbers. I want to see how many transactions are occurring there, how much volume. I want to see its growth. Until then, it's really speculative to me. So Aeon, yeah, I like Aeon. I think the creator of it, Matt, he's one of the board members of the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance, and the whole point is he's looking at an enterprise version of Ethereum essentially, which is good thinking. So he's looking for a scalable version, of Ethereum. So yeah, sorry guys, I'm trying to read questions and keep my train of thought at the same time. But yeah, talking to him, like I'm paying a lot more attention to how the leaders of cryptocurrencies think. I think that's really important going forward. So I really like, in talking to him, I really like the way he, his thought process, the way he handles himself. And of course they have an actual, office and are doing stuff, which is more to say than most cryptocurrencies. So I think they're going to come out with a product, and of course it's risky. That's definitely in my more risky category, and I'm going to do a video on how to do a portfolio with different kind of risk tiers. But I'm a fan of them. I think they're definitely one of the better projects out there. Someone said something about Smart Cash. Smart Cash is also a Dash fork. I believe they're a Dash fork. They function a lot like Dash, which they're actually very similar to the cryptocurrency I'm working on, which is Energy. But we're doing some things that are different, and I think better than they are. No offense, I'm really happy they're there actually. I welcome the competition. But yeah, they're doing a treasury system that has a much larger treasury than Dash. So it'll be interesting. I'm interested in watching them. Let's see. Sorry guys, I missed some of the questions. Hey, what's up? Hi from Miami Beach. So at this point, I'm really going through my portfolio, and I like to take these moments of centering myself and looking at what cryptocurrencies are progressing and which ones aren't. I think that's really important. That applies to Ubiq, Ardor, and Komodo. I saw all three of those there. So Ubiq I don't see innovating, right? And they need to have a full-time dedicated team, and it's not their fault. Lots of love for them. But that's why you need self-funding cryptocurrency, because you need to be able to have a full-time team devoted to different parts of a cryptocurrency, and that just doesn't exist right now. It's just the way the space grew. We're still really young in the space, but I assure you, in the future, self-funding cryptocurrency will be a no-brainer, right? But it's such an innovative idea right now. That's why I'm making Energy, because we'll lead the way, or we'll do quite a bit in that regard. With that foundation, we can do anything. So same thing for all those. Promises are so cheap in the space. I want to see products. I really want to see Ardor release their platform. They were supposed to release it Q3, then they delayed it. They're supposed to release it Q4. So I'm really hoping to see Ardor come through with what they're supposed to do. And I'll really make my judgment after that, I suppose. Yeah, so same for all those. But those ones that aren't performing, I have my eye on Komodo. I still have a position there, and the market right now is moving up and the volume's high. But otherwise, I'd be tempted to move that to other well-performing projects. So, again, one that I see that's doing really well right now is Monero. The development's really coming along. Their community is growing very well, and this is without major price action. If they have a lot of price action, community growth will be even higher. So peaceful. I can only imagine if like a stream where the questions are flooding. Again, I'm sorry if I missed your guys' question. I'll have to do this in a better format in the future where I could see your questions. Right now, if they disappear and I didn't get to it, unfortunately I missed it. So you can throw your question at me again. If I didn't catch it, I apologize. But yeah, I haven't touched ADX again. The reason why is I want to see actual usage and how it grows. Until then, it's far too speculative for me. Thank you. My back is doing better. I've done 30 chiropractic sessions since I've been back. I didn't do surgery, so the discs I had were not herniated. Thank God. I had just some bad bulging discs, and so I'm still in pain, but it's definitely less. It was pretty bad at some points there in Europe. So ETN I haven't touched or researched too much. Can't really comment on that one. OMG talked about a little earlier, but so they're like a remittance application, and I'm looking forward to seeing their actual numbers of how much they're used, so we can get an idea of supply and demand of their product. Until then, it's quite expensive. Neblio, I looked at. As I understand, they're a competitor for a platform. I don't know too much about them. I did research them a bit, but then backed off for some reason. I have to explore it again. Cardano, I think, is extremely expensive at this point, especially without a platform, without their smart contract platform already out. Alias, I haven't heard of that one. Neo's my number one pick. I think they're a strong competitor. Ubic, I just talked about earlier. Yeah, Neo's my number one pick. They're a smart contract platform. They've got a sharp team. Yeah, don't know, what do you want to know about it? Book recommendations, posted somewhere before, but I would, if you haven't read it, you guys definitely need to read Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. Will give you a lot of understanding of how markets traditionally work, and they were more unregulated then, which is kind of what we're moving to with cryptocurrency. So it's interesting. We'll see a lot of those strategies come back in the cryptocurrency market in coming years. That question moved too fast. Decred. Decred, again, I think the main thing going for Decred is it's decentralized, obviously decentralized governance and funding, but the funding is required, but I don't really see them capitalizing on their funding, and hence why I'm making my cryptocurrency energy, which will have a lot of funding, and we intend to use it. Kyber and 10x. Kyber, I want to see it. I want to see a lot of these projects that have promises actually come through with platforms, and to see that volume increasing. When we see that, it's a good indication that that's doing well. Until then, a lot of these are promise. Same thing applies for 10x too. And I think these cryptocurrency debit cards and credit cards are gonna, unless things change, you're gonna run into problems like here in the States, because right now if you do that, then all those events where you use a debit card or credit card is a taxable event as it is. I have seen IOTA, and I've researched IOTA a fair amount. I have like a decent list of kind of unanswered questions or concerns for IOTA. I think IOTA is like a different technology, right? It's taken Bitcoin 9 years to prove itself or whatever in its technology. IOTA is a whole new technology. It's not blockchain anymore, and it's not working as smoothly as everyone would like. Sometimes the transactions get stuck there for hours or days, and I kind of experienced that a bit myself. So I think there's a lot of hype around IOTA, but yeah, I have some outstanding concerns. So I don't really see, again, I think there is scalability solutions that you can literally have every transaction recorded, and that's an advantage. But that's the whole point of blockchain. Nexus, I don't think does anything proprietary really, It's almost like kind of like a Bitcoin clone, so there's a lot of those out there in the kind of mid-range. There's got to be a good format for doing this. It's almost like a little tiring, just answering questions nonstop. But I want to, I want to like talk to you guys a bit. It's better. I like having more of a conversation. I wish there was a way to do that. I wonder if there's a way to do that on here. Because that's what we were doing in Discord, which was really cool. I was talking to like just a couple people, but we were having a conversation about different subjects, and that's a lot more fun than just my comments and all the coins. Navcoin, I've researched several times. They're like a privacy competitor. I really think Monero does a better job in terms of privacy for numerous reasons. There's higher fees on Navcoin. I've just, from the research I've done. I think ICOs are getting pretty saturated. A lot of ICOs are coming out now that simply haven't performed or are way under. So I think they're getting quite saturated. I am in the house I'm currently living in right now, but I'm a little transient right now because I was traveling in Europe. I came back here, and my buddy, my best friend, moved to Bali, so he's like, take over my room, so here I am. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. So I'll do this. I'll answer a couple more questions for you guys. How's my sleep schedule? It's crazy. I have a really off sleep schedule right now. Ether Connect is certainly a scam. I'd watch out about that. And it's a Ponzi scheme, right? And it's actually something I explored, with how BitConnect did, and it really brings up the moral issue of Ponzi schemes. And I just decided for myself, I don't want to be involved in something like that, even if the returns are high, especially if you're early into one of those. The returns can be high, but it's just not something I want to associate with, or not something I need to anyway. There's a lot of good in the world where I don't have to involve myself with something like that. I have heard of Ether Party. I haven't researched them too much, but they're kind of like on my list, so I want to dig into them and see how their product, if it's actually really useful or if it does anything really good. Oh wait, if I click on the screen, it brings up all the questions. So did I just do that? That would be useful. Can you talk about the Bitcoin 2x split, BTC dumps, and alts? Yeah, so I think the Bitcoin split's going to happen in about 10 days. And I think what will happen is immediately after the split, Bitcoin's going to crash. I don't know how well 2x will do, but I think Bitcoin will continue rising until then because everyone wants their free 2x. Especially, I imagine, the last day or two, there will be some massive surges in Bitcoin. Likely, we'll see. There's no way to know for sure. Icon futures are 15x price, really? I didn't know that. But anyway, just so you guys, I thought about making a video on this, and I might still do it. It's kind of like, I have several videos I'm working on, but you guys have to realize with Bitcoin, after this split happens, I think they're going to lose about half their hash rate. And normally they would have a week until difficulty adjustment. But because they only have half the hash rate, it's going to be 2 weeks until the next difficulty adjustment. And Bitcoin's also going to essentially have half the transaction capacity because it has half the hash rate, so the blocks are taking twice as long to come in. So essentially half the capacity. So Bitcoin's going to be in a lot of pain and trouble for 2 weeks, I would guess, maybe more, after the hard fork. So that's why I'm saying Bitcoin's going to suffer a lot after the fork happens. So it'll be in your interest, if you're waiting to have Bitcoin and split it, to sell it as soon as humanly possible after the fork. You want to get out. I mean, that's my opinion, but we'll see. But I would say you probably want to do your own research, make your own decisions. It's not financial advice, but you may want to sell your Bitcoin like right after the fork. And that's why I'm trying to find out what exchanges are gonna have the split, like basically for both coins to be available right away. I read that GDAX might take a couple days, and that's not gonna fly. Like, you need to have access to sell your Bitcoin immediately after the fork, otherwise you'll take losses. I don't know too much about Tyrion. Saw on my list, but I didn't dig into that one too much. Cool, I just got a notification from my YouTube studio that I got 1,000 likes for the first time. So, rock on, guys. Thank you guys all for your support. Should do brainstorming on Discord about energy once a week. I welcome that for sure. Welcome feedback. I looked into Verge. I don't think it's better than Monero. I think Monero has a lot of advantages over Verge. I think last time I checked, Verge was just was essentially like Bitcoin with Tor. I don't even think it was hiding the transactions. That's the last I saw. That question disappeared. Let me see if I can get that back. Sorry guys, I'm a newbie at this, so. Oh, here we go. You pull up and everything pops up. How do future price mirror to upcoming exchange prices in general? It depends. The futures market essentially looks at what they think the price will be in the future. So it just depends on what people foresee. what alts to get into right after the fork, or just hold cash? No, definitely move into alts. If you don't have Neo or Gas, those are very strong picks. And Monero is also looking very strong. You can see the community growth on cryptometrics.net. Go to that site. It was built by one of our community members here, kind of by my guidance, but that will show you the Reddit community growth for each cryptocurrency. Monero is doing really strong right now. I don't know, Jake. I can look at Verge again, but I've looked at it several times, and every time I looked at it, my feeling was it wasn't a competitor to Monero. So I could look at it again, but that was my feeling every time. So I'm going to take a few more questions, guys. In the comments, leave me your feedback on how, if you guys like this kind of setup, or if you'd rather I set it up in a way where I have like a conversation with someone. That might be better, because then you guys have something enjoyable to listen to. So that might be like an interview format. I don't know. Ethereum price. So I think Ethereum is pretty fair price right now, but you know, you have to kind of also take in the perspective of how big the market cap already is. For Ethereum to go up 10 times, it's going to, the market cap would be 300 billion. So just take a moment to realize that. But I think that's probably going to happen in the next few years even. So yeah, I think Ethereum's got a bright future. Ethereum's probably the most, honestly, probably the most stable and least and lowest risk one. And I would say that I'd say that because a big part of that, the reason why it's not Bitcoin, is all the trouble Bitcoin's facing right now. Bitcoin's in a lot of trouble, and there's so much vitriol there, it's insane. ASIC resistant coins, I think coins should all strive to be ASIC resistant if they're proof of work. Aventus is a use case, so I'm interested to see first of all, their live product and their actual performance. I would say that was like a decent ICO pick, and it certainly was. You could get out there, or you could have got out there with some profit, and it's a pretty decent price right now. But in terms of long term, I want to see utility there. They dropped their Wraith wallet today. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Lisk I've looked at. I've been conscious of Lisk for a long time, and the thing I see with Lisk is I'm still waiting to see a smart contract platform that I've been waiting for like 2 years. So that's a huge deal. Enigma, same thing. A lot of these products we're just waiting for the platform. Enigma's honestly really disappointing to me with what they did with their ICO. I don't know why they did that. They, raised 15 million more. They were going to raise 30 million, but they raised 15 million more, and literally 90% of the community was against it. And that's just something that you don't do. You don't go against 90% of the community. It's a really bad idea. But they did anyway. I try to forewarn them not to do that, and then lo and behold, now their ICO is like half their price, because they created a lot of people that were really upset with it. So, what can you do? I don't think it was a good move. Plan live session would be great. Yeah, true. You guys can catch that better. I tweeted about the yield curve. Can you further explain? Yield curves are just a good indication of recessions or crashes in the market. Basically, when the bond yields basically correlate with risk. So like a high bond yield will indicate that investors see that as really risky. And so when the short-term yield is higher than the long-term yield, or that's essentially what it looks like when it's inverted or flattened, that means that short-term investors think that like a country or whatever is more risky short-term than long-term. So that's essentially, as the yield curve flattens, that will reflect that sentiment, and then typically a crash comes shortly after that. Hashgraph, I've just heard of that recently, like a new thing, right? I gotta dig more into that. I was never really a fan of Ripple. I don't think Ripple's, to be honest, a real cryptocurrency, because it's essentially, it can be controlled, essentially centralized. It's not a real cryptocurrency. Can it be for bank-to-bank transfer? Sure, but why Ripple? Why not something else? I think the value of a lot of cryptocurrencies are their utility and adoption. Like Ethereum is going to have its value. Bitcoin has its value because there's transactions that are occurring every day. People are relying on it, but people aren't really using Ripple day to day, you know? My top 3 picks right now, I'm working on a video, and this is kind of like working up. I really want to structure it in a way, because I don't want to just give a list of my top 10 or 15 coins next time. I want to explain to you guys how to have a portfolio in like different sections of risks and what and how much should go into each section, or like an idea of it. In terms of like the main cryptocurrencies, I'd say Neo, Gas, and Monero would be my top 3 picks. Ethereum right up there too. So just because it's a stable, strong, long-term one. Epic Bitcoin crash, I would say that's likely to happen after the fork. Like right after the fork. Maybe for the next 2 weeks I'll drag on. Cool, yeah, I'll dig more into Verge. I didn't look into QuantStab, to be honest. Like, I'm really picky on ICOs now. I just want to see really quality ones. Alright, I'm going to take a few more questions, guys, and then sign out for the night, but I thought this would be fun to do, and this was cool. It's cool to do. Thank you all for joining, by the way. It's good to see you guys. And like it too, if you guys like this. So, pops on other people's feeds and stuff. I've been on Whale Club once before. It was cool. You guys are welcome. Thank you. I'm doing better. I'm still in a bit of pain, but I'm doing a whole lot better than I was when I was in Europe. I think Litecoin is, I talked about it earlier on, but there's nothing really proprietary, and it's not a self-funding crypto. You guys, the future of cryptocurrency, as I imagine it, is imagine cryptocurrencies that have $1 billion a year in funding, self-funding. Like Bitcoin, if it had a self-funding protocol, would have billions of dollars a year right now. So imagine a cryptocurrency with billions of dollars a year, like a Google of cryptocurrency. That's the future. And they're not just going to be cryptocurrencies, they're going to be organizations, like changing the world. That's the future of cryptocurrency. So when I see things that are not reflecting or like in that direction, I just don't see a future. I mean, and there's a lot more that goes into it than just that, but that's a huge part of it. Why wouldn't a cryptocurrency be self-funding? It's a no-brainer. Why are you giving all your money to miners? Thank you, I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, that would be awesome if Neo's on BitHub. Or BitHub, however you say that. If Bitcoin crashes after the fork and alts really go up, yeah. A lot of money has flown from alts to Bitcoin. The space of cryptocurrencies got heavier. We're at all-time highs in market cap, you guys. Like the space is strong. It's just Bitcoin that's going to get hit, but that utility will move to alts. Maybe alts will suffer a bit as a result too, but I think the market overall I want to be in. So I'm just going to be in the best cryptocurrencies I see possible. Yeah, I'm excited for Cosmos too. I'm really looking forward for some of these new innovative ones to come out. I thought about that too, selling Bitcoin right before the dump, and that might be good if you guys are busy and you don't have time, but I think the optimal strategy is right after the fork happens if you guys can. So that's what I'm working on. So share that with me in the Discord channel. Let's talk about that. But finding the best exchange to move the Bitcoin onto where it's going to fork into Bitcoin and 2x. And then I would say sell the 2x, or sell the Bitcoin, not the 2x. So you can wait on the 2x, but sell the Bitcoin immediately after the fork. It's going to be a rush to the door. So the first ones to sell that are obviously going to retain most of their value. But if you're a day or two late, you can really get hit on the price you're going to sell your Bitcoin at. So that's what I think. There's no way to know this for sure, but that's how I'm imagining it. And I think too, again, just a couple days, like just a few days before the fork, we can see some huge surges in Bitcoin, because everyone's going to be like, oh, I'll get my free 2x, and I want to come in at the last minute. Did I say I didn't? I haven't looked into Hive too much. I heard about it a few times, so I got to dig into it. I can't really comment on that one. Yeah, run for the door before the dump. I would say so. That's in regard to the Bitcoin fork right after it. My views on institutional money coming to this, fears of futures crashing the market have been mentioned. I think institutional money coming in is great. I don't understand the other part of that though. I apologize, I don't understand it. Did you say just sell 2x? No. I would say, and again, not financial advice, so do your own, make your own decisions, but personally, I would say selling the Bitcoin legacy. This Bitcoin legacy is going to crash. I don't know about 2x. I don't know how that will perform, but I think it's pretty likely Bitcoin legacy will crash right after the split. So the reason for that is a lot of people are buying Bitcoin right now just so they can get their free 2x, you know? Okay, I'll take like 1 or 2 more questions and then I'm gonna bounce out of here. You know, why would futures be crashing the market, Pascal? I don't understand that. Reverse ICO. Favorite place in Europe? Europe's awesome. Highly recommended if you're in the States. I really like Germany. I like the beach. So Croatia was cool. I'm gonna spend a lot of time in the Greek islands probably this summer. He's worried about Bitcoin derivatives. I think Bitcoin derivatives are good. Honestly, I'm looking forward to them. So trading tools. I have no I don't have no fears about the markets or stuff. You know, if you know how to use those tools, they can serve you. Electronium, I've heard the buzz about it. I looked into it briefly, but I have to look into it more to comment on it well. Okay, Pascal, check it out. Yeah, Croatia was cool. Alright, you guys, I'm going to sign off. Thank you guys for joining me. Again, give it a like if you haven't yet. Good to see you guys. And give me some feedback on future types of videos. Again, I really would like to have more of a conversation. That would be so ideal. But I'm glad to answer your guys' questions too. So maybe like a mix. So, alright, you guys. You guys take care. Take care. See ya.